Hello, this is Sean Edwards, and this is my week 3 CRUD application. Um, let's go ahead and get started. I'll start by talking about which framework I chose to use. I chose to use CodeIgniter because we had to use it for class and because it was one I found was interesting. But CodeIgniter is basically made of three main components, which is the MVC structure or model view controller. Um, each of them play their role in coming together to make a complete application. Um, the first part of that would be the models, which is basically your logic and your where you would where you put in your CRUD application or you add your functionality. Um, Most of this happens on the server as CodeIgniter is PHP, so it needs a server to be parsed. Um, the next part of this is the views, which basically is what the user sees. It's a way to format data that's passed back from the models, and it can be used to make like whole web pages and such. The next important part is controllers, as we can see here. The controller is what basically it processes the responses from users and it connects models and views together. It's If it's done right, you can use several views um, to build an entire page. And in CodeIgniter, the controller pulls the views from the controller pulls from views automatically. So a good example is this is inside here in this ASL function. You can see here like where we're loading a navigation here, the navigation view here. We don't actually have to put slash view slash navigation dot php because it already knows to look in the view folder. I think we should start with looking at our models and what some of them do. Okay, the first one I'll probably here display here because we're getting a little close on time is the add model, which allows us to push the information into the database and yeah, basically allows us to push our information into the database. And this is connected, this model is connected with the controller, as the controller is what gives it information. Now, if we go to the ASL controller and we look at the add, we can see that we're basically saying that inside of our form that we set up, the fields with the name and quantity are going to post with the same names, so that when it posts to the database, it knows which table which table the right thing would go into, the right information will go into the right slot in the table. Um, that's a very important part of the database, because even if we were to change one thing, then even if it attempted to push into the database, if the quantity, if the names aren't, if the naming conventions aren't matching and they're not right, then when it tries to push to the database, it will not display. Um, let's see what else we can speak on here. Here we're saying this user and the user is coming from, again, the models. We we're saying in this user, in this model, oops, in this model, where the hell was I? Right. In this model, we want to, from the model, we want to use that data, and here we're connecting that same. We're pretty much doing the same thing. We're connecting the data, and we're saying this. We're pushing it to this user get name, which is another model that has its own function, another function inside the model that does its own, that displays, it returns results basically of, man, I'm so stuttered. It returns the results. It returns results that's already in the database, but they all do their part, and they all work together to do different little things. Um, let's see what else. What else should we look at? Let's look at the views here. Now, here we have the views, and this is the add fruit view that we can see right here. We have it built out right here, and as you can see, none of that other information that's above it is added in this document. We added it dynamically. We added the form dynamically to this document, and I'll show you how we did that in a minute. But I just wanted to show you an example of the form, and how the naming conventions are for the form field, so they know which database row to go into. Um, I also wanted to show you that I did attempt to use the CodeIgniter version with the form, with the echo form open, to build out the form in PHP, but unfortunately I could not make it work. Um, I tried a lot of different things, and I just couldn't get it to work properly. So I just built it out in normal HTML. Let's see, we also have the edit form for when you want to update. We're not using this document, and the navigation document is pretty much just everything you see up top of here. See, it's loading dynamically because I pretty much have that on the navigation of every page. But I thought it was pretty important, or if you just wanted to see, no matter where you were, you can display it and see what items you have and how many and so forth. And you are able to delete and update throughout whatever page you're on. Okay, let's go ahead and try creating a fruit, or adding to this database. Let's say we want oranges. Oops, oranges. We add oranges, and let's say we want 6 of them. We add 6, and it pushes it in to our database. And if we go and look at SQL Pro and we refresh, we can see now that we have our oranges, and we have 6 of them. Now, if we decide that we no longer want these items and we delete it, it removes it. And once we refresh the database, you can now see that it's gone, and it has been deleted from the database and from the document. Uh, Unfortunately, the only thing I was not able to get to work is the update feature. Um, I'm not sure exactly what the error is. I tried messing with the arguments and stuff, but I only seem to be making it worse. The form does work, and it does post, and it does post, but it's not posting the correct way it's supposed to. this is actually supposed to update a user, and I know it has something to do with my IDs that I think my error is with. But every time I tried uh, configuring it and messing with my IDs to make it work, I just made it worse. So I just left it how it is, and I'm gonna submit it how it is, the current version of it. But we have our create, we have our read, we also we also have our delete. Um, yeah, so this is my application. I guess I'll go ahead and turn it in because I only have 10 minutes left to get this video uploaded. But if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.